Hello, here are your desperate house sitters from
Florida.
Yay! We made it and we are now outside of Tampa in a beautiful house, as you can see in the background, with a nice pond view with a lot of wild animal life here. Yeah,
Lots of wildlife.
yeah.
And it's really close as well, the
Yeah.
wildlife, really.
Yeah, what we love here, we never had that before, is all this mosquito net around. Wow, no
Yes.
more mosquitoes.
No mosquitoes, no flies. It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's really, you can leave the doors open, even so we shouldn't, because we will talk about that soon, because this time we are a little bit desperate again.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. It started really nice. We had a super interview, everything wonderful, and then it changed. Yeah. What happened?
Well, we arrived and yeah, they were really helpful and friendly and very generous. They took us out for a meal.
Yeah.
And they left loads of stuff for us to eat up in the fridge, and fruit and veg basket was full, and they were like, yeah, eat it all, it's absolutely fine. So really nice start
Yeah.
with that. And then when we were left alone, we started getting slightly desperate with the dog.
Yeah, so when we got introduced to the dog, it was like, he's an old man, he's 16 years old, it's a terrier, a little terrier. He loves to sleep all day, and he's very easy to look after. You only have to walk him once a day, he's absolutely easy to look after. And if you go out, you can take him. So we thought, yeah, well, that sounds like we can adjust it to our day-to-day online work and stuff. We are here most of the time anyway, so yeah, let's take the house sit. What they didn't say is how the daily routine around the dog for them is. And the daily routine for them is what we figured out now after we have been here almost 4 weeks, is like, no, they don't walk the dog. Or maybe, if he's lucky, once a day.
I don't think even that.
No,
if I'm honest.
he is allowed to be everywhere, even on the bed, on the sofas. He's allowed everywhere, and he doesn't want to be when you are not around. So he's like a shadow, and he wants to be next to you all the time. And because he's an old man, which we understand, and he's a terrier, he makes a lot of noise. I'm not talking about barking. I'm talking about grumbling. Right?
Yeah, I nicknamed him Grumbleweed.
Yeah, this is Mr. Grumbleweed. Yes.
Because he sits, or stands, I should say, actually, because he won't sit unless
No.
there's a cushion.
Yeah.
So he stands and just goes.
Yeah. Oh, you are pretty good at that now. And even if he lies next to you, he's doing all these noises. So when I have my online conferences, I can't have the dog in my room because he's so noisy. So we actually had to, let me say,
We had to retrain him.
we had to retrain him. First of all,
Let's start with he's spoilt.
yes.
And so he's the leader of the pack in this house, and he does whatever he wants to do. And if you try and get him to do something he doesn't want to do, then he will growl, he will bark, he will bite, he will shake.
He will
his
do
body.
everything. He will do everything.
He has this Darth Vader breathing.
He's really good on that. He could be an actor, actually. He couldn't.
And he does all this stuff if he doesn't get what he wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, because we had different ideas about what we wanted, because the one of the owners works from home, and so he lies next to her all day
I can't do that because he's so noisy.
whilst she's online. Now, she has the odd call, but she's not doing group trainings and stuff like that.
No.
So, because we didn't want him to do that, then he's scratching at the bedroom door, trying to get growling, barking.
Whilst
you're in the middle of a session.
Yeah.
And then, so one day, I was out here, and I was on a call out here, so because we're in the outdoor bit, and you were in a session, so I locked him out of there, and he stood at the patio door, and he growled, and he moaned, and he shook, and he did all of these things, and he went on and on and on and on, And it got to the point where it was like, you're driving me crazy, dog. And the other thing we have to mention here was, because this is how we know that they don't take him for a walk all the time, he walks around this lovely frame that we've got here, this one's inside with the mosquito nets, even though he has a doggy flap.
He pees at the grill, he pees at every corner around the pool.
All round it. So you can go in the pool or just around the pool and all you can smell is dog wee.
Oh, terrible.
So we're like, we don't want that.
No.
So in the end, what I did was I made him go out the door after lots of growling and so on. And then I locked him out in the garden. Now he couldn't get out, he's still safe.
He still looks at us. He can look inside.
He can see,
he sees, it's not out.
And so we had this battle of wills on who was going to be the boss.
Yeah.
So that day I showed him I was boss because we weren't having this behaviour. So that was we started off with the retraining in
the first week. Yeah, first week was a lot of retraining. And I mean, finally he understood that he has to go out in the garden for a wee, and if he wants to go out and we are not around, he still tries to mark his territory, but then I told him off. But now he's really good. He goes out by himself, and if we are out here, which we are mostly, and he sees us, he automatically goes through his dog flap, because he knows exactly he gets told off if he doesn't do that. And so he's fine now. He's even fine sleeping outside and not on our beds, because we both can't sleep with him in a bed. No way, because he's so noisy. And so
we don't like that, even
no,
if it
we
wasn't
don't.
noisy.
No, we don't like dogs in the bed.
Personally, some people I know are okay with that.
No,
but
we're not.
Not
no,
us.
we want to have our freedom at night. Anyway, so we kind of managed around that, and we took him out because we love to go out for farmers markets on the weekend.
Well, the first time doing that was hilarious. So we were very lucky. We have a car with the house, which is a very nice car, and we're really grateful for it. So to get him in the car, now obviously he's an old man, so we're like, well, okay,
we have to lift him up, of course.
We have to lift him into the car. Because he tried to jump initially and then he couldn't manage, so it's like, bless him, he's 16, he can't get in.
Yeah.
So I went to go and pick him up, and then I nearly got bitten.
Yeah, he was so angry. Even so, he really wanted to go in the car. This is a funny thing. And then he was, because we tied him on the lead on the back seat. We put a nice big cushion underneath so he can't scratch anything and everything fine. And I knew from the owners that she said, no, he can sit on your front lap when you're driving. No, we're not doing that. That's dangerous for us. This is against the law, and this is dangerous for the animal. So we don't do that. So if we take a dog, he has to sit in the back and he has to be secured, right?
We're driving someone else's car. It's like we
on
want
top.
To be extra careful.
No, we don't do that. So we tied him up in the back on his nice pillow, and he was oh my God, he was revolting in the back there. For half an hour he was just in revolt.
Until finally, after half an hour when we arrived, he was kind of...
And then we went for this nice little farmer's market. Everything was fine. We lifted him back up. He was grumping and growling, even so he was really tired. And then he slept on the way back. So now we had this routine. We take him out when we go to the farmer's market. Now we know how to deal with that, and we know, but he's getting better. From drive to drive, he's getting better. Yeah. He's not complaining anymore. Yeah. He knows that he has to sit in the back and so on and so on. But so this is about the pet situation in the moment. It's kind of, even if you have an interview, just my tip for you, even if you have an interview and say, he's easy to look after, please ask for the specified routine. What do you mean? Where is he sleeping exactly?
Yeah.
What is the sleeping routine? What is your walking routine? Where is he going out for a wee in a poo? Ask specific questions, because if you don't do that, you end up with an experience like we had here right now. And this was our learning about that, wasn't it?
I mean, we knew that they weren't taking him for a walk because the owner was saying, you need to poo pick in the garden because he's going. And since we take him out twice a day, there's none of that.
No pooping,
poo picking.
No poo picking, because he loves it to go in the morning first thing, and in the evening we walk him again. I mean, he can't walk that far anyway. It's a 50 minutes walk for each of us. So
But he now knows the routine,
and he
so
loves
he gets
it.
excited
He
and
loves
he
it.
wants to go.
Yes, and he in the
it's all
beginning
good.
we couldn't really cuddle him. Now he's very cuddly and he comes for cuddles, and because we made clear who's the leader of the pack. So
Yeah.
tip number one for all future house sitters who are listening to this: make
Ask
sure
the right questions.
ask the right, go in details.
And if you're dealing with the dog, you need to make sure you're the leader of the pack.
Right. So, if you're a house owner and you want us over for a house sit, you know what we don't like. Anyway, so second challenge we had here, as much as we love houses like this with a pool, we finally came to the conclusion that we have to make new decisions about if we look after houses with pools. I started house sitting 10 years ago and had plenty of pools, but the last two actually were a little bit of a challenge with the pool maintenance, not because of us, because the owners thought they knew better than the pool shops or experts around pool maintenance. And this drove us this time in a really bad situation, which we don't want to have again.
Yeah. So basically, we're on a 4-week house sit, and for 3 weeks of that time, we've not been able to use the pool. So the apart from the nice view,
Which you can see here,
which we've not actually been able to get in the pool because we had 3 days of rain and then the pool started going green.
And we immediately reported that, said, look, the pool is not in a good shape. We have to do something about it. As long as you put the chlorine tablets in, it's all fine. No, it was not fine.
So it just got worse. So then we went several trips to the pool shop.
Yeah.
The pool shop, and we spoke to different people, including the store manager of the pool shop. And they do this detailed analysis of the pool water, and then they give you a recommendation. You need this chemical, this chemical, this chemical, this action, this action. So we're presenting this to the owner, and he's going, no, I want you to do something completely different.
So since we are now in 2 weeks, we are in pool care now, meaning that we have to do different instructions, which is quite a lot of extra work for us, including cleaning the big filters, which is really a mess work, including all the other stuff around. We are still working on the process to get the pool back into balance, which should have been already finished 2 weeks ago. Oh, 1.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because the pool people said, if you do this and that, you will be okay in 5 days. We're still not okay with the pool.
No.
So for us, if you're a house sitter, my recommendation is, like we will do from now on, if we look after a pool, we agree to do that because we know the routine around it. We will only agree when we are allowed to take water for every single week to the pool shop for an analysis. And if we are allowed to follow the routine that's recommended from the pool shop, we will not agree anymore in any other agreement. Or they have a pool person coming and doing that for us.
Yeah.
Because you can end up in a situation like we are kind of in between the pool shop and the owner, and the pool is in the middle. So what are you doing? You have to follow the instructions of the owner. But of course, the owner is not an expert. He knows maybe his pool quite well because he has the pool for a couple of years. But every situation is different. Like in this case, it was raining. We don't know what was in the rain. It was quite heavy rain. So maybe there was some minerals in there or something that, switched the pool. But because of the analytics and the knowledge of the pool people in the area that had the same thing happening to many pools at that weekend, because we were not the only ones, they knew exactly what to do, but no, we were not allowed to do that. So please, be very serious about pool care. So house owner, if you're a house owner, you want to have a come sitter in, I really recommend you to have somebody else coming once a week, checking the pool, making sure that the pool is in a good level. Or give them the allowance to go to a pool shop and follow the instructions of the pool shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we as sitters, we feel so terrible because it's almost like we were causing that. No, we were not causing that. We are trying to prevent it. Yeah. On top of that, we can't use the pool on for the whole time. Okay, we can live with that one, but we as sitters feel really responsible for the house and for everything we look after, and we can't because we are in between of two chairs.
We're not empowered.
No.
So this was the challenge that we had, and we ended up having to ask to have a call with the house owner, video call, because he was just sending text messages on WhatsApp to say, look, you know, we don't want to be held responsible for this. We've reported it immediately. We've done everything that we've been asked to do. You're the one that's not following the professional advice, and so you are responsible for what you're asking us to do, not us. And in fact, we got to a point where it's like every chemical we put in, like we were taking photos and videos and
Every
everything
single day.
to send it to them to go, look, this is what we did, this is how much we put in, you know, just so we were covering our backs.
Yeah.
Because it was a very uncomfortable position to be in, and we both, I mean, we had 24 hours, didn't we, particularly, where we were both feeling very anxious because we were like, you know, house sitting is our way of life, as people who follow us know, and you also know that there is a review system, and we don't want within the review system to be blamed for something that's not our fault.
Yeah, yeah. So this was the second situation that we were in. And on top of that, we had a third little situation, which is a little bit of a disappointment for us, because we were told we can use the 2 e-bikes, really nice e-bikes, and we were really looking forward to go around the area here with the e-bike and explore it, not to use the car so much. And in the end, after a day, it turned out that only one e-bike is working, and the other e-bike has a an electronic disconnection, whatever. Because this e-bike was bought online via Amazon and no shop around could help that, we couldn't use the other e-bike. We can't do very much about it, but it's just sad because we were really looking forward not to use the car so much. And
Yeah, so in a way, I mean, don't get us wrong. I mean, we haven't had it bad.
No, we had it really good.
Lovely
no,
house,
it's a lovely house and beautiful
nice
area.
Lovely area, beautiful location, and so on. So it could have been a lot worse. But for us, we had these quite high expectations because we're like, oh yeah, we've got a nice car, we've got 2 e-bikes, we've got a lovely pool, a dog that seems to, you know, just sleeps all day and is easy going, and it wasn't.
It was not that.
So we did end up with no pool for 3 weeks, no e-bikes, and
the dog we have to retrain.
And yeah.
So kind of this is reality of house sitting. We are looking forward to our next experience.
We don't know what that's going to be like.
So we have a pool and 3 dogs to look after.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be in Alabama, which is a state that in America that neither of us have been to.
No.
It should be interesting, and we are driving from Florida there as well. So that should be also an
We keep you posted in a couple of weeks after we have done that one and see if we are desperate or not.
Well, we've got 6 weeks there, so we've got
a long time.
6 weeks to be desperate, or not.
So we hope you had an entertaining 20 minutes. Give us your sum up. Recommend us to your friends that want to start house sitting or looking for house sitters. Because either way, it doesn't matter if you are in one or the other position. It's really important for you to understand there's always things that you don't think about. And we have this first-hand experience, let me say it that way.
Yeah.
This is why we share these videos here. It's not to promote us. It's
I wanted to say that we don't make any money out of doing this. We're not, that's not the purpose of doing that. Yes, we'd like some more subscribers so that we could reach more people with the information.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's not our motivation. Is purely for passing on our experiences to others, to support others. So please subscribe, please like, please comment if you have any comments.
Yeah, ask questions.
Engage with us. We'd love that. And we'll kind of see you next time.
See you soon.
See you soon.